camper, this podcast is for you. You're a camp leader, a church leader, a parent, or other outdoor ministry enthusiast who has known for years that camp makes an impact, but haven't had the unique combination of stories and statistics, qualitative and quantitative, analytics and anecdotes that show the world that impact is real, reliable, and repeatable. This is the Sacred Playgrounds podcast. I'm your host and producer, Jared Rendell, so I'll help guide these conversations. This podcast features founder and lead researcher for Sacred Playgrounds, Dr. Jake Sorensen, along with some special guests from time to time. So let's start at the beginning. Jake, what's a sacred playground?
A sacred playground is a place of joyful encounter with the divine. You know, when most people think about encountering the sacred, they don't think about fun and play. They think more about approaching God with fear and trembling. But that should never be the whole story. Our relationships with God and with one another should be joyful, and they should be open. And that's where the playground analogy comes in. You know, we can think of the playgrounds that our kids enjoy, and they always can spot a playground, a place that's for them. It's got the slides, other apparatus that shouts out, this is a place of fun. This is a place to play with other people. Camps are places like that. They're places of play. They're places of encounter. They're places that are designed with these young people in mind. We think about adults, though, we never really lose that longing for a playground. The apparatus just changes. Maybe we don't want to go down the slide because we might throw our back out or something like that. But we might want to go on the golf course or go sailing or do any number of things that we really enjoy. It's in doing these things that we enjoy that we develop relationships, that we learn, and we grow. Play is open. It's about experimentation. It doesn't have a set outcome. And that's one of the great things about connecting these two things. When we talk about sacred playgrounds, we're talking about faith and play. We're talking about taking theology out of the classroom, taking worship out into an open space and doing it in a different way, a way in which we can connect with God differently, a way we can experiment with theological ideas, with new relationships and new understandings of God. And so it really becomes an incredible place to learn about God, to grow in our faith, and to grow closer to one another in the faith. And so that's why a place like camp becomes a primary sacred playground. But there are other places as well that we might consider sacred playgrounds.
Who is this podcast for?
This podcast is primarily for practitioners, the people that are on the front lines working with the young people, helping to cultivate faith in these young people and walk with them along their journey of life. And so primarily we're looking at camp directors, camp program directors, summer staff members, and other folks that are involved in outdoor ministry spaces. We're also looking at church leaders, those who might be taking young people to camp or leading retreats or lock-ins at church, and other things that might be considered a sacred playground. And then I think the third audience really is parents. I mean, when we think about it, they're the ones who are the primary ones who are developing faith in their young people and looking for resources to help them build their faith, help them develop relationships, and really want them to enjoy life and to have a good time. And so if we can help these parents and these church leaders and these outdoor ministry leaders connect these kids with faith and help them to have a good time while doing it, I think we're fulfilling our goals.
Each episode will focus on one exciting project, surprising finding, current happening, or striking statistic we've uncovered in a set of creative, story-driven conversations. Plus, we'll tell you one clear way that you can take away and apply the learning in your own context, in your own sacred spaces. So pull up a log around the campfire. Welcome to the playground.